And Coach, thanks for making time. Good afternoon, and I can only imagine, and I'll ask you to describe what your life has been like since about midnight Saturday to right now. Good afternoon.
Well, it was getting home after talking to a bunch of recruits, grading film to about 5 o'clock in the morning, sleeping about 2 hours, getting up watching Missouri, and then coming into work and having a good day's work and spend some time with recruits and get ready for the game. Nothing's changed. I mean, listen, it was a great game. It was a great atmosphere, but, we've got another game. We've got to move on.
Coach, I know you have to do that, but and you've won national championships. You've been part of national championships, but still, for this program and for the fans, I know you're getting ready for the next game, but how do you feel about what this football team and your coaching staff helped to deliver to a fan base hungry for just that?
Well, that's a different question. I mean, and what I mean by that is I'm happy for two things. One is our players understanding how to compete against a big-time opponent who's a very well-coached team you have a ton of respect for, and you have to play at a certain standard to understand what that level is. And for our young players, we've had, tons of injuries, 7 to 9 starters out consistently, and a lot of freshmen got forced in at the beginning of the year. That's different than you do at the middle of the year, because sometimes those guys understand how to prepare. And the level in which they played, and now they know. Sometimes they didn't know in the beginning. And understanding that for them to have success and to believe in what we're doing, the process of what we do and how we do things. And then I'm going to tell you saw the atmosphere here. I don't, listen, maybe you say I'm prejudiced because I say this is as good a place to play a college football game in the country, but I believe that wholeheartedly. There's not a better fan base, and everybody has them. It's a tremendous environment. It's a tremendous atmosphere. And, we want to provide a great product for our fans because they're as loyal as anybody in college football, and we want them to enjoy victories for their sake and be proud of what we can put on the field for them.
Coach, while you were grading film and getting ready for Missouri and getting ready for the beginning of another week of practice, all you do is flip on the television or look at some website, and it was all about you and Coach Saban. And I know how much you respect him, but still to not only have called your shot, in jest or not, but to deliver on it, that has to feel pretty good.
Well, the call and the shot was me being competitive when somebody says, you can't do something. And that's what the competitor in you does. But listen, they're the standard, and you have to match that standard. And you can't walk away from that standard. And the respect you have for Nick and everything he does and how he's done things, listen, I consider him a friend. He's a great competitor. He wants to beat me. I want to beat him. But I never thought of that. And I know that sounds crazy, and it doesn't mean that much to me now as far as, I want our organization to be good. Now, that's not coach talk. And I think he feels the same way about his. I feel the same way about that. That's just the way we're wired. And I just think, it is a great accomplishment for our organization. He's a hard guy to beat. You have to coach well and you have to play well.
And one last question on that, but I saw you at the game, so I know you had to think about it a couple of years ago when Kirby Smart was playing him for the title, and everyone of that group, and you've been gone from that Saban inner circle in terms of an assistant for a long time, but is it fair to say that all of you collectively, one of you wanted to be the first?
I guess it's better to be the first than the second or the third. There's no doubt about that.
Or never.
I guess you say that. Well, because here's the thing. The thing about it is when you do accomplish that, you've accomplished something significant because of respect and how good he is at what he does. And it was eventually going to happen. I mean, somebody was going to. I mean, streaks don't go on forever and ever and ever. We'd say they wish they could, but it doesn't happen. So I guess that is a significant thing. But right now, when you're in the middle of a season, you don't think. Maybe when you retire, you think about that.
Well, somebody asked me about it, and I'm not trying to push you to the finish line. You're a long way from that. But when you do step down at some point in time, I do feel that your national championship or whatever or another one perhaps will be mentioned first. But having beaten him will also be part of really the first line of who you are and what you've accomplished.
Most likely it will be because of what he's accomplished and what he is and what his standard is in college football history. You're probably right with that, Paul.
Well, I will try to move on from there because I know it's not easy. But so how do you take this team that nobody gave a chance to? You have the biggest, most significant win of the season, not throw it away in a game Saturday that you need to win to keep going on with this season?
We started right after the game, and we educated about, all right, why did we have success in the game? We have some young guys who, have had more time now playing and understand what the standard is. Now, how we prepared during the week, how we played during the game, how we thought during the game, all the things in which you do. Just like we all want to fix things when they're wrong, but you got to repeat them when you do right. And for young players, it's very important to understand why and the thought process you had of playing the next play, not letting one play become two bad plays, so there's a bad drive. Then that drive I'm down, well then I screw up another drive. And having the maturity to understand it. And like you say, those victory doesn't mean as much if you can't go back and repeat your performance in the next week and the next week and learn from those things. And that's what our organization and our team needs to do, because we keep building the culture here to have a chance to have a championship team. And that's the educational part, Paul, and that's a very hard thing because, listen, when everything was going bad, I told them, listen, eliminate the clutter. You can't listen to social media. You got to believe in the things you do. Well, now, when things are good, it's the same thing. Quit listening to social media. Go back and just replicate what we did last week as far as preparation and mindset. The games will be different and the teams are different. But how you prepare is the key, so that way you control what happens to you, and it's about how you play, not your opponent.
You lose to Mississippi State a couple of days ago, and we all, let's be honest, not you, but we all wrote you off. It was over. How did you find a way to bring this team back?
Well, I think education, same way, and told the guys now that, all right, all the stuff out there you were saying and believing, we're the only ones still standing here. Trust what we have done. Trust our history as coaches. And we have to trust you, and we have to all be in this thing together and educate them about what it takes to be successful. And, sometimes it takes a fefew failures for guys to buy in, not buy in, I guess, but totally believe in the standard and the level in which you have to do it. And hopefully our kids do it now. The challenge, like you say, is now we got to do it again this week at Missouri, because Missouri is a very tough place to play. They play very well at home, and we got a heck of a challenge ahead of us.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.